People ask me why I decided to run for Congress, and there's really a lot of answers that I can give to that. But before I get started, I want to thank all the veterans for protecting the freedoms that we have in the United States. One of the greatest freedoms is the freedom to serve in government and represent our fellow citizens. I'm currently campaigning to represent you in Washington as your next congressman. After all that we've been experiencing in Washington, I know that I will have to first earn your trust and your respect before I can expect to receive your support in your vote. So I'll tell you a little bit more about me. This has been an interesting race as we're running a true grassroots campaign. It's also been very rewarding as I've met many great people throughout the 7 counties. And I've also developed a team of fantastic volunteers. This is a perfect time for me to give them a huge thank you. Now, I don't consider myself to be a politician. I'm a statesman. Politicians are more concerned about winning elections, serving the party line, and focusing on their next campaign. We've clearly seen this with Kathy Dahlkemper. As a statesman, I'm only interested in serving the people of the 3rd Congressional District and focusing on the future of our great country. Like you, I'm concerned about the lack of fiscal responsibility, the tax burdens that have been placed on individuals and businesses that have stifled our economy. I believe that we can do better for our country in creating jobs. I believe that we can do better for our country to effectively manage Medicare. And I believe that we can make Social Security solvent again and improve benefits for veterans. I believe that Homeland Security and national defense are absolutes for our country and the freedoms that we cherish. That includes the Second Amendment, especially when we know that Americans are being recruited by terrorists to attack us from within. And I believe that we can do a better job for our country to ensure improve educational opportunities for everyone. And that we can do a better job when reviewing government mandates that have been established without adequate funding. And we can do a better job to reduce our continued dependence on OPEC for oil, and we must do a better job in developing alternative energy sources. I'm also concerned about health care reform in the bill that has been passed. As a health insurance agent with 26 years experience, including 10 years in administration, I agree that reform is needed in many areas, especially tort reform. Unfortunately, what we have received from Washington is more of a takeover effort than it is a reform effort. If we're going to have health care reform, it must make economic sense for all Americans without sacrificing quality, restricting care, or bankrupting our country. And we must also protect human life. I only believe in promising what I know I can deliver. Therefore, my promises to each of you are genuine. First, I promise that I will work harder and smarter for you, and I will honestly represent all of the constituents from the 7 counties in the 3rd Congressional District equally and to the best of my ability. I further promise to actually hear and listen to the concerns of all the citizens from the district. I will also promise to carefully review and understand each issue and work hard to propose and enact common sense solutions. As we know, a true politician promises all things to everyone in order to gather votes and get elected. When a candidate pledges to already have all the answers, will they in reality be nothing more than another Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, or Barack Obama, who have demonstrated their desire to have their own personal agendas completed at any and all cost? The personal agendas to pass health care reform consumed an entire legislative year while they continued to ignore America's struggling economy and caused us to lose valuable time and many more jobs. My campaign is not based on promising everything to everyone just to gather votes. We're a complex society, and we cannot continue with the simplistic one-size-fits-all mentality of the current leadership. I also understand that a freshman in Congress cannot just bring all of the answers to Washington and expect them to be immediately accepted. While in office, I will develop relationships and work with leaders at all levels of large and small businesses, including manufacturers, service companies, and nonprofit organizations. This interaction will allow me to listen and truly understand their needs and their concerns in an effort to create quality jobs. This course of action is critical in order to avoid repeating the results of our current administration, as they've preferred to act on their own agendas without the input of outside experts. By working with businesses to create jobs that pay family-sustaining wages, we will enable the consumers to stimulate the economy, not the government. And I promise to understand legislation and hold it up to the criteria and values of my constituents and our Constitution before casting any votes. I also promise to serve you with honesty and integrity and ensure greater transparency with all communications. This will include regular visits and forums throughout the entire 3rd District. Speaking as a common man, I promise to carry out our common cause, which is to bring common sense government back to Washington. I firmly believe in our great country, and I believe that we can once again be recognized as the strong nation that once commanded worldwide respect. With all that we have done throughout the world, there is no reason for us to be apologetic to any nation. Please visit my website, www.stevefisherforcongress.com, to learn more about me and my campaign. I ask that you vote for Steve Fisher when you go to the polls on May 18th. I am third on the ballot for the 3rd Congressional District, and it would be an honor to serve you in Washington. Thank you.